Hello friends, my name is Kisan and welcome you in this video tutorial. In this video tutorial we are going to discuss about the one of the new addition feature in Java 8 that is called optional class. So before Java 8 developers had to carefully validate values they refer to because of the possibility of throwing null pointer exception. All these checks demands a pretty annoying and error prone boilerplate code basically. Java 8 optional, which accepts generic class, can help you to handle situations where there is a possibility of getting null pointer exception. It works as a container for the object of type T. It can return a value of this object if this value is not a null. When the value is inside this container is null, it allows doing some predefined actions instead of throwing null pointer exception. Now, creation of optional object. An instance of optional class can be created with the help of static methods, like if you go to the optional class, which is part of java.util package, and this class is basically immutable class, so that's why they have declare this class as a final, like wrapper class or a string. There is a static method, so that you can call by class name. So optional.empty, this will give you the empty object of optional. So basically returns an empty optional. Now if you have a string value and that value you can pass, so we have a off method in optional, and this will give you the optional object with some certain value. So returns an optional which contains a not null value. Now next API we have off nullable, and you call some method like getString which returns you the string, right? So we'll return an optional with a specific value or an empty optional if parameter is null. If this method is returning null, then this will return the empty string. Basically this method will call internally this method, right, if this value is coming null. So if you go to the JDK, then here you can see this class has been declared as a final. So this is immutable class. This is completely thread safe class, and we have a method it's called so directly you can call empty, right? So here I have shown in a slide, if you call empty method, so if you search for the empty, so if you call empty method, then this will give you the empty instance of optional. There are a lot of API, and these APIs are self-explanatory, so I will encourage you to go and elaborate this API. Before that, I would like to show you some an example so that you will be more familiar about some of the API, and the rest of the API I will leave on you to explore it. So basically optional class, actually this is a part of, this was introduced in the Java 8, and this is very much similar to what optional is in Guava cache. So Google, some years back, Google was introduced a Guava cache, so that is very similar to the cache which is in like EH cache in Hibernate and some other caching mechanism. So if you want to reduce the database heat, then you might hit the database once and put the results into the cache, and you can avoid the unnecessary hit to the database. So that's why we have a different type of caching. So one of the caching is Guava caching. So Guava caching, this class was already introduced. Now JDK 1.8 has added this class in Java 8. So let's go to the one of the demo so that you'll understand how some use cases basically we are going to look into an optional class. So here I'm going to declare a method like integer, and I would say, let's say value 1 equal to null, and let's declare another integer value 2 which will have some value, new integer, and it starts with certain value like 10, so it's a value 2. Now we have optional class, right? So optional has a method is called of nullable. So here you can initialize this optional with certain value. Is if so if you look in the API description saying that returns an optional describing the specified value. If none null, otherwise returns the empty string. So see, if value is null, then that will the empty object of optional, else that value will be returned. So there are two methods, empty and off is getting called internally. So and return type of this you can get let's say this is variable a. Now we are going to use optional dot off method, right? And here we can pass a specific value, let's say. So here basically I'm going to pass 1. Intentionally I have assigned with null. Now here value 2, and this guy is going to return us optional integer, so let's say b. So optional off throws null pointer exception if passed parameter is null. So if you pass over here, this is going to throw a null pointer exception, right? So the description they have given. Now we have a two value a and b. Now I'm going to call a method. I'm going to create a method. It's called sum on it. So sum method I'm going to call, and I'll pass these two values a and b. Okay. And let's create this method. This is basically a static method which is accepting a and b. Okay, so here in this method we can check, we can apply some checks like first parameter is present, and we want to check it whether first parameter is present or not. So we have a and we have is present, you can check. Similarly you can check for the second parameter, right? So you say second parameter and b dot present. So let's see what value is going to return by this API. If I run it, then basis first value is saying false and second value is saying true. So that's true, right? B value we have initialized. There is this value contains 10 and first value is containing null, so that's why first is returning false and second is returning true. So instead of throwing null pointer exception, this is showing that so this value is not present and this value is present, right? So let's move ahead, and here I want to calculate sum of these two numbers. So here we can, what we can do here, we know that number a is null, so we can call or else method on it, and I would say here new integer, and here we'll pass. If I'm saying if this a is coming with null, then initialize with 0. Okay, I would say value 1. Okay, so optional or else returns the value if present, otherwise returns the default value what you are passing over here. Okay, now what I'll do, I want to calculate sum of these two numbers, right? So we can see b dot, I would say get, and here we are passing, we are calling just get method on b, so this will return value 2, right? Value 2. Now we have a value 1 and value 2. Now let's make integer, let's make this method return type as integer and just return these two value. Just I'm going to add these two value So value 1 and plus value 2, and happily we can print the sum of these two number in the main method. Okay, so here basically we are just doing v dot get. So get method gets the value, or value should be, if value and value should be present. If I run it, then look at here, we are getting the sum as 10. 0 plus 10, 10. So if you go to the optional class, then their optional class has came up with hands of methods, and I will encourage you to go and elaborate these methods, right? So this, some of the methods like is present, get, right, off, these are the method we have seen, or else, these are the method we have seen, right? I will encourage you to go and elaborate rest of the API. If you can see a lot of API which accepts some functional interface like consumer and predicate function, etc. Right? So that's all I wanted to show in this video tutorial. I hope you enjoyed learning about optional, and this is one of the best feature which is added in the JDK 1.7. so I would suggest you to go and elaborate the rest of the APIs, and thanks for watching this video.